Hi, in this video we will cover some of the concepts of dictionaries in Python. So I'll share my screen. Yeah. So first thing, dictionaries are just I'll say an extension to the sets in Python. For example, you can see in sets we used to have these curly brackets, right? And if you remember, then that if you just do not specify inside anything inside curly brackets, then it will take it as dictionaries. So it is the same thing. The dictionaries are basically an extension to the sets. What it has key and value pairs, right? So dictionary has key and value pair. You can very easily relate it to your home dictionaries, where you have a word and then you have the meaning of that word, right? So this is the syntax for you to specify a dictionary. You have a variable name, then you use the curly brackets, and inside the curly bracket you have a key, and then you put the colon. You use the colon and separate it with your value, whatever value you are trying to insert, and then you can use comma to insert another item. Okay, so this is item 1 and this is item 2. This is how it is working. Now in these in dictionary, one thing that you have to keep in mind, that it is an extension of set. So since it is an extension of set, that means that the keys in the dictionaries should be unique and they should be immutable, whereas the values can be duplicate and values can be immutable. So basically, if I try to make it as simple as I can, so you have sets, right? And in sets you had values, and these values had no order. If you remember, sets do not have any order. Sets were unordered. In dictionaries, what you are trying to do, in dictionaries you are trying to have user defined index for every value, right? This is what we are trying to do in dictionaries. Okay, so since we will be using keys as indexes, hence they cannot be duplicates. They has to be unique, because if they are duplicates, then for example, one is pointing to one value v1, and 2 and 1 again is pointing to another value v2. Then if you look for 1, then the compiler won't know which value to show. Okay, so so the syntax to, as I just told, syntax to specify a dictionary is this: you have keys and then you have value, key value, key value. So it is a key value pair. And if you do this print world, then it will print the entire dictionary in front of you. There is another way to specify a dictionary. Another way to initialize a dictionary is to use a dictionary constructor. What you can do, you can have a variable name, and after that you can use the keyword dict. And after that you can specify key value pairs using equal to sign instead of colon. And now you do not have to specify the quotes for string values. You can just simply do AFG equal to what I've just written here. Okay, so this will be one item and this will be another item. Okay, and if you print the type of this variable, then it will print as dictionary. It should be very simple to understand, by the way. Yeah. Now as I just told here, that we will be using keys to access the values. We will be using keys as indexes in dictionary. So here we will be discussing the same. Now, how do you access the values using the keys? One way to do is, if you remember, in list, if you had to do random access, in list, if you had to do random access, what you do, the name of the list and then the index inside the square bracket. In dictionary we will be doing the same. We will have the name of the variable, the name of the dictionary, and inside the square bracket we will be having the keys, and this will print the value. So this particular dictionary that we are having here is Europe, and it is having keys as the country name and capital as the value. So if you try to print Europe and in the square bracket if you try to print the Germany, then it will print the value Berlin. Similarly, there is another way you can access the values using the keys, and that is by using the get keyword. You can simply have the name of the dictionary and use the dot get function and just specify the key name, like I have done here, France. Or I know India is not in Europe, but still if I do India here, it should give me Delhi, right? So this is how it is going to work. Now there are some other functions that we can perform on dictionaries. First function is length function. It is len, and inside the bracket you pass the name of the dictionary. The function is going to return how many number of pairs you are having. Type function is going to return the data type of the particular variable, as it does always, so it will be printing dictionary here. If you use this particular command, print, and inside the print you have dictionary name dot keys and the brackets, it will print all the keys you are having inside the dictionary. And similarly for the values, dot values will print all the values of the inside the dictionary. Okay, now we will be talking about manipulations inside dictionaries. Now the first thing you do, if you remember in list, the best way to change a value was to just call the list name, then inside the square bracket have the index and just give the next updated value. Similarly in the dictionary, we will be doing the same. We will have the name of the dictionary that we want to change off, and then inside the square bracket we will just pass the key and we'll assign a value. Now this particular thing is going to do two things. First thing is, if there is already Italy named inside the dictionary, then it is just going to update the value. But if there is not Italy, if Italy is not present inside the dictionary, then it will add the item inside the dictionary. It will automatically add the item, and it's a good thing. Another thing, if we have to delete a particular item, then we just have to pass the address of that particular item that we want to delete. So we will use delete, del, and inside we just have to pass Europe, the dictionary name, and inside that just pass the key, and it will delete the item. If you have to check if a particular item is present inside the dictionary, then we will use the in keyword, our very famous in keyword, and just we will look for the key inside the Europe, okay, inside the dictionary. So this in, and it will return, in function will always return true or false value. And we can also use the pop function, Europe.pop. If you specify key here, then it will delete the specific item, and if you do not specify anything here, you use pop item function, then it will delete the last item. Whatever the last item is inside the dictionary, it will delete it. Another thing is iterating. For iteration you can use for keyword, key value pair. So for key comma value in our dictionary dot items. So this particular syntax, the dictionary name dot items, this dot item is going to return a pair, and each item is a pair, so this is going to return a pair. And the first is going to return a pair, something like this. The first thing will be assigned to key, and the second thing will be assigned to the value. And this is how you can print the received value. Okay, so it will print all the pairs one by one. Another thing is, you can also create dictionaries of dictionaries. So this particular thing can be used to show this can be used to show a more real life situations, because if there are several countries and every country have a lot of specific details. For example, its capital, its population, and a lot of things are there, right? Number of states, number of languages spoken, the sex ratio and everything. So all these things can be represented using dictionaries of dictionaries type of data structure. In this you have the main key, the first key. Now this key will have the value. As I told you that value can be anything, right? Inside the value you can have anything. So inside the value of this particular key we will have another dictionary, and in that dictionary we will have all the key, capital, then its value, then key, then its value. Okay, so what if you want to access this particular thing? Oh, I have already done it. Okay, so what if you want to access this particular thing? What you will do, you will go to Europe, you will call Europe, then first thing you will call is this first key. Okay, the first key, you will have Germany here, and then you will call the population key, right? So using this syntax you will get the value, whatever value this particular key is holding. Now the last thing we will be watching in this particular section is list versus dictionaries. What are the differences and what are the similarities, whatever. Okay, so list is basically indexed by numbers. We have zero based indexing or we have negative indexing, so list is indexed using numbers, whereas dictionaries are indexed using keys. User defined indexing we are using in the dictionaries. Another thing is lists are ordered. Since we are using numbers and numbers are increasing and numbers are ordered, so it is ordered data structure, whereas dictionaries are not ordered because we have not defined which key is smaller and which key is greater, so there is no order in the dictionary. Another thing is list is the collection of items, and a dictionary is the collection of key value pairs, and this is very obvious. So this was it, and in the next video we will be discussing tuples.